Good afternoon, fellow teachers, members of the P&F committee and parents, and welcome to the Northern Rivers Primary School's Youth and Health Wellbeing Seminar for 2018. As all of you are aware, we pride ourselves on the fact that we are one of the best health promoting schools in the region, adhering to the policies prescribed from the Ottawa Charter. This aids us in our objective to implement a whole school approach to health, evidenced by student health officers, extracurricular activities, and health education programs. Our ultimate goal is to inspire and support young people to develop the knowledge and understandings needed to make appropriate, healthy, safe, and active choices in their everyday life. I'm now going to ask you to spend the next few moments staring at this screen. Now look away. Notice how uncomfortable that was in your eyes, and that was just 10 seconds of screen exposure. Part of our objective in promoting health literacy to our students is recognising new potential risks and counteracting them. It is with this in mind that screen time is the main point of concern for this seminar. Due to the newfound role technology has within everyday life, parents and teachers have not yet provided appropriate and effective strategies and skills to reduce the risks of overexposure to digital screens. From this, we hope students will be able to learn the skills required to self-manage their screen time, as well as understand the reasons their parents and teachers may decrease their screen time. To help clarify for those of you who are new or who are not aware, we at Northern Rivers Primary adhere to the health promoting schools approach. According to the World Health Organization, a health promoting school is one that constantly strengthens its capacity as a healthy setting for living, learning, and working. As you can see on screen, there are 3 areas that are linked with one another to form a framework that we abide by. This framework provides a guideline that allows us to consider what we wish to target and then plan outcomes to achieve results. From this, we can implement change, monitor change, and then report on outcomes to ensure progress towards healthy living is made. As we are a culturally diverse school with a wide variety of unique individual learners, a fact that we pride ourselves on, this framework allows us to draw together our unique qualities, and through programs, policies, and resources, we are directed towards healthy outcomes for our school community. Our whole school approach is further vindicated by the principles prescribed by the Ottawa Charter. Created by the World Health Organization under the Health for All initiative, the Ottawa Charter consists of 3 health-promoting strategies that the school aims to reflect in our own approach to health. These 3, as shown on screen, are enable, advocate, and mediate. The table you can see on screen shows the data collected by students in grades 5 and 6, collected last week in reference to the average amount of time students spend in front of a screen. The results of this data offers concrete evidence on the concerns raised by our teachers that students of our school are spending far too many hours per day fixated on screens. Thus, the need for intervention is required. Following class discussions between students and teachers over the data, concerns were raised with the lack of concern expressed by the students when the data results were recorded. Furthermore, the sheer variety of digital screen devices students were using was another point of concern. In addition, the results, when compared against other academic research, is quite alarming. Hence the need for action to be taken place. Research indicates an increased amount of screen time for pre-adolescent children can culminate in a high risk of mental health diseases. As you can observe on the screen, the risk of students developing depression is much higher within students who spend over 2 hours of screen time per day in comparison to those who spend on average below 2 hours per day. Further data cited by the BBC suggests that too much screen-based activities replaces time potentially used for physical activities, which can eventuate in a wide spread of diseases, such as cancer, cardiovascular disease, and obesity. The research also highlights sleeping problems as an issue associated with overexposure to screen time, which can directly impact the student's performance and contribution at school. Despite the research being in its early phases, there is evidence beginning to emerge that there is a serious link between using things that have a screen and the decrease of functionality in parts of the brain that operate planning, prioritizing, organizing, and impulse control. So in light of these statistics and alarming research, I can imagine all of you here right now have a similar question in your head. What are we going to do about this? Our school, and more specifically the Health Promotion Committee, aims to embody the key teachings of the World Health Organization. By doing so, we believe the need to enact the key ethos, which is to provide all of our students with the required tools and experiences that promote and protect their health. Using the Ottawa Charter's 5 action areas as our reference point, we will strive to do the following. We plan to be the main advocates for change, proposing new programs and policies for change. This involves listening to the recommendations and concerns raised by you, the parents. Once we have gathered as many ideas and suggestions as possible, the necessary processes shall be put in place that will ensure the points raised are adhered and then responded to. This process shall entail a health promotion action that enables teachers, parents, and the broader school community to be equipped with the necessary expertise and knowledge needed to force change. Our responsibility as the Health Committee is to ensure all channels of dialogue are clear and open to all of those involved. As we are aware, you may be asking, but how does this happen in real life? The process just described will form a 5-point action plan which we have created with reference to the Ottawa Charter. Referring to the Ottawa Charter, the first point prescribed is the need to build healthy public policy. All of the following points shall culminate together to instill a healthy public policy. As some of you may be aware, our school does not currently have a strategy, resulting in teachers and parents being unaware of the issue of overexposure to screen time and how to resolve it. We plan to propose to the administration team additions to the school's policy in the following areas. Creating a class media plan which targets calculating and reducing the screen time of each student. Students are to become more accountable for their choices through this method. In addition, the policy plans to introduce a new technology ban during non-class time at school. Students with technological devices would be required to hand in any device they have to the front office and can only be collected at the end of the school day. This point will also encourage students to engage more with physical activities during non-class periods such as recess and lunch. Teachers are encouraged to only use screens when necessary. Whilst technology and screens do have a place within education, using them as mere substitute tools is something that is not necessary. And teachers would no longer be permitted to use screens as a behaviour management tool. Teachers can no longer send disruptive students to the computer room during class time, as this could potentially be harmful for the students. This policy will be made available to you in the near future, and opportunities to critique will be made available to you parents. The second point from the Ottawa Charter for health promotion is creating supportive environments. In order to do this, the school aims to provide alternatives to screens within the classrooms. In terms of educational purposes, the school plans to increase the budget to allow for the purchase of mini whiteboards for the students to use. Other substitutes include board games, books, and dress-up boxes. The school plans to provide each class with donation boxes to aid with this process, so over the next couple of weeks, parents will be encouraged to donate any unwanted items that could aid us in this process. Further methods to create a supportive environment will be opening up channels of dialogue with parents to discuss the amount of screen time their child is using at home. Time will be allocated at parent-teacher meetings to discuss this issue and whether an extra intervention or change is needed. And finally, our long-term goal is to purchase more sports equipment, paint the handball courts and hopscotch fields, and build more shaded areas outside to allow students to socialise and play, away from any screens. The third area of our proposed action plan is to strengthen community action. As a school, we pride ourselves on the many programs and initiatives we currently have in place that have helped formulate a healthy and strong relationship with the local community. We plan on extending our relationship to address the issue of too much screen time. We plan on working with organisations such as Life Education's Healthy Herald to create a program that involves screen time. Further proposals include exposing students to a wide range of alternatives to using screens out of school hours. Such proposals can include healthy cooking lessons or excursions to the vast variety of natural beauty the Northern Rivers offer. The fourth action plan area targets the need to develop personal skills. As alluded to previously, it is important to educate both students and teachers on the dangers of too much screen time, and therefore divide this point into two. The first focuses on our teachers, who will be the true bearers of change within the school. The second focuses on the students and how the school can utilise useful learning outcomes involving this health issue to increase and promote health literacy. The first means by which teachers will develop personal skills is to attend professional development in regards to screen time. This involved teachers having supportive materials and resources made available to them. From this, it was discussed the possibility of establishing a whole school competition whereby the average amount of screen time used by the class is calculated. Classes that have the lowest or show the best improvement would be rewarded. Furthermore, it was discussed by the staff of the possibility of using cross-curricular strategies to further instill the message of screen time. Such a proposition will be centred on a project-based learning and real-world applications. With teachers using a cross-curricular approach, students will be allowed to learn the dangers of screen time in a variety of subjects. For instance, the data collected from the whole school competition can be used for science investigation skills or maths graphing. One suggestion included students writing to local council making a request in regards to resolving the screen time issue. Such ideas used by our teachers would result in a multi-dimensional learning experience that reiterates our message and concern to a wide variety of integrated curriculum strands. Our aim is for our teachers to provide rich learning opportunities to the students. As I said earlier, project-based learning initiatives will result in students becoming more health literate as the issue of overexposure to screens is incorporated into their learning. This promotes students to be healthy citizens, not just in regards to screen time, but health in general. In addition to providing the students with the best resources, we will also propose that the current leaders of our whole school competition collaborate with classes that are struggling. It would allow the leading class to develop their leadership and explanation skills as they share their strategies with their peers. Under the supervision of the teachers, the students will take ownership of the school's health culture as they share what makes their class so successful. The fifth point of the Ottawa Charter is the focus of reorientating healthcare services towards prevention of illness and promotion of health. This infers that the responsibility of being health literate is with each individual of the community. As a school, we will support our community by highlighting all resources and services in the community. For example, the Australian Government Department of Health's article on inactivity and screen time suggests strategies parents can use at home to reduce screen time. Northern Rivers Primary believes that it can be the bearers of positive change and health promotion for the community. By encouraging our plan put forward today, we wish to achieve health literacy for all. Using a strengths-based approach in conjunction with our plan, we aim to be leaders in screen time awareness. By framing our Healthy School Action Plan under international policy frameworks, we will become a health-promoting school.